Welcome everyone to the Epic Theater opening ceremony. All the previous festival events were held specifically for this one event. It took 1.5 months for all the players to get those tickets and finally get the invitation to the event that is going to determine the strongest 6 digit in the world. And today I'm gonna be taking the honor of introducing you to the Epic Theater itself. And joining me in the commentary booth is gonna be the host of 6WC himself, Gamili.
Yes, that's right, that's right. Thank you, Philoxen, for having me. Ladies and gentlemen, at long last, it's been about, what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, hell, almost 8 weeks in the making. But at long last, we finally walked all the way to the Apex Theater, and I would be lying if I said this is probably one of the most exciting projects that Project Hexagon has done. When we were plotting our pre-tourney events, our festival events, we initially were thinking, how can we make this season something special for the players? And so we thought, why not? Let's take it upon ourselves, host the very first 6-digit invitational that's open to the public. And ladies and gentlemen, this is it right here. We have 16 players, 16 of the strongest players lined up. Fortunately, here and there, some players had to drop their invitations. So perhaps not the strongest list. Perhaps you need to wait for the main tournament before you can truly get that answer. But we hope that this whole event is sufficient enough to satisfy your needs as a viewer. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gami Crayola. I am the host of the 6-digit World Cup, and of course, joining me in the VC, joining me in the commentary booth is our very lovely head of festival, Philoxen. How are you doing today? I'm so excited to be here, and I'm sure you are too, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I'm really happy that we managed to get to this point of making and that we got some really strong players. But before we actually get to them, I think we need to give a bit more time for that trailer and the explanation of the event itself, which is it has some gimmicks. The event itself will be lasting like 2 weeks. It's gonna be consistent of 2 stages. First one is waterfall stage, and second one is bracket stage. The first week of the event is gonna be played on the runner-up of our pooling contest, which is Lunexia. And the second week is gonna be Charities pool, which is also known as CU's pool. Those 16 players will have to go through a lot of matchups and a lot of tournament gimmicks. Starting off which I believe we can speak up a bit about the waterfall stage itself.
Yeah, that's right, Philoxen. In case you guys are wondering where this idea came from, nobody's wondering that, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. This idea is heavily inspired by, I believe, Season 6 of Minecraft, Season 6 or Season 5 of Minecraft Speedrunning Ranked. That's right, Perry is an avid fan of the MCSR, Minecraft Speedrunning, and they have this thing called Playoffs as well, which is an invitational-based tournament that happens once in the mid-season and once at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bit complicated, but all you need to know is that their bracket works in such a way that has never really been seen in many tournaments. They work in tiers, and as you've been seeing, we've been giving out different invitations of different tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And how it works, if you looked at the video, it's a lot easier to explain with a visual. But essentially, in every round, players from a higher tier will pick their opponents from a lower tier. So for example, we are currently in round 1 of the Apex Theater, which means that we'll be having our tier 3 players picking from our LCQ tier 4 lineup. And of course, you'll be seeing that selection happen very, very shortly. But we hope that with this new bracket style, with this new very experimental style of shaping the bracket, we can hopefully allow for more player representation in our invitationals, allow for more diverse brackets, and allow for more interesting matches. If there's some underlying beef happening between, I don't know, maybe 2 of the Filipinos, or maybe there's some beef between Philoxenia or Aaron XZ, we might be able to see some of those sort of sort of very interesting dynamics play out in on the battlefield and in match. So hopefully it's not too confusing to get through. I think it'll be a lot easier once we get to see the first round of player selection come through. And yeah, that probably sums up all we have on the bracket stage. But Philoxen, would you like to elaborate a bit more on, what pools these players will be facing or playing on exactly?
Yeah, as mentioned before, at the very beginning of 6WC, we had a thing called pooling contest, and the top two pools of the players who made the pool, they are gonna be played in the Epic Theater itself. First one is a very interesting pool made by Lunexia, and the gimmick of the pool is that it's not your average slot pool, but it's based off the major skill set groups. For example, you don't have no mod 1, no mod 2, no mod 3. You have instead tapping 1, tapping 2, and tapping 3. And on top of that, not only, but you will have 3 maps that will have accuracy win condition and not Scorby 2, which is actually one of my favorite So yeah, my respect only increased to Alexia after that. And then on the second week of the event, which is going to be the third round of the waterfall stage and the bracket stage itself, we are going to have a pool made by CU, also known as Charity. And this pool is your standard average vanilla slot pool, but it is really balanced because you should know who CU is, even if you're new to tournaments. CU has been making some of the most balanced and stable pools like throughout all the 6-digit tournaments that I've played in personally, and I'm pretty sure Gamilia as well. So yeah, this rounds up the pool.
Yeah. Clip that shit.
No.
Okay, well, moving aside from GG Philo, I also like to say, as one of the judges for the pooling contest, definitely I think one thing to note about Lunexia's pool is that they will probably be the only pool to get a pooling structure gimmick right. It's very hard to pull off. Non-stop pooling as a idea is very difficult to pull off in a way that fully utilizes the potential of non-slot. And although Lunexia's pool is kind of not actually non-stop pooling, it was still a more experimental take on the standard pooling format that we're also used to. And I think one thing to note is that the Nexus pool is very, very well crafted around the gimmicks that were provided. And so definitely huge shoutouts to them for being able to integrate, and definitely huge shoutouts to their creativity for being able to make such a unique pool. Meanwhile, of course, CU needs no explanation. CU Charity, Espia, Rumia, like she goes by many names, but host of probably the longest current standing 6-digit tournament series, Certified Banger Tournament, CBT5, of which is happening right now. So do go check out the channel. Yeah, CU is a very, very well-known tourney host amongst 6 digits, been a mainstay of the tournament scene for a long time. In fact, was a mapper in the 2023 iteration of the 6-digit World Cup. So huge shoutouts to CU, amazing mapper, amazing pooler, amazing staff. Very, very reliable person, and I love the passion that and the effort that she puts into this tournament scene. And of course, I gotta thank CU. Winner, I'm second place from CBT3, and NNC was CU's Cup, Nebula Nexus. Was it Backstab Bootcamp for long? No, it wasn't. It was Prepare for Ascend.
It was, yeah.
Prepare for Ascend was based off one of CU's old tournaments. So, I mean, CU is a host that that is very, very special in our hearts, and it's very great to see her pool getting played here. Anyways, moving aside from that, Philoxen, I think if I am checking my notes, we're just gonna blitz through some of the things that we had. Prize pool for it, we have Brokies. It's gonna be, probably the largest prize pool I think that we have for a player, which is a year of supporter. That's kind of bum. Yeah. Anyways, moving on from that, we're gonna talk a bit about schedules and streams. We are planning for most of our matches actually to be chronologically sequenced, so that every match will get streamed, so that we can have time for intermission events, so that we have things planned for you beyond just, the gameplay that you see every day on stream. Moving forward from that, we'll also be having full face cam commentary, something that I don't think any OSU tournament as of late, apart from the open rank stuff, has tried out. And of course, you're already seeing one of your commentary duos is me and Philoxen. Our other commentary duo will be Starry and Aquatic. So if you guys are interested in their explosive personalities, do hop on to catch us. And of course, I think that is all we have for the main tournament. So Philoxen, would you like to get us through, what are the talents that we have for us this playoff season?
Yeah, that's right. The 16 players that we mentioned, we will go through all of them, starting from tier 1, finishing with tier 4. And of course, we will explain, for those who don't know, who the hell are those tier 2 players that we have in the tournament. But of course, as mentioned, starting from tier 1 players are the winners of each of the festival events. And those are potentially the strongest players in the tournament. They need no explanation. First of which being Harold, who won our Trial by Fire event. A really promising Canadian player who played all the way back in 6WC2024 and got 4th place there. Barely being not enough to get to the top 3 podium because this fucker did. But yeah, he's been popping off ever since then, and this is the reason why he won our first ever festival event held on 6WC. Following him in tier 2 is Philoxenia, who won the second festival event, which is Backstep Bootcamp, even outperforming by match cost in the final lobby as Zerilia, Idex, and other D rankers. He needs no explanation. The carry of Team Ukraine popped off in 6C, popped off in the previous 6WC, as well as Herald, and finally managed to get another ticket for himself, because this is the only person who improved his ticket from the first festival event.
That's true.
Yeah, after that, it was Zerilia, and a really controversial D ranker, which there is a lot of controversy going on about him. But they managed to win our 1v1 event, which was Postcard from Map, beating a lot of strong players, such as Ironic Z, Zavi, I believe, Zavi, and Ziggs himself, who just came back from the game, but still it was a challenge for Zerilia, which he managed to pass, and this is why we have him here. And to close it all off, Zavi is our last tier 1 player who managed to win our last Prepare for Ascent event. Zavi is one of the most dedicated players. He's been in literally every single event that we had. Always was really close in qualifying, but this time he finally managed to lock in that first place on Prepare for Ascent event. I'm really dark horse throughout a bit amongst all the other tier 1 players, but I'm really excited to see their performance. But with that, we're gonna be closing off the tier 1 section, and
I think we can sort of jump over to the tier 3s maybe, talk a bit about their event accomplishments as well while we are on the topic of all the events and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Then, okay, let's start off with tier 3. The first tier 3 player that we had was initially Idex, but he didn't.
What a bum! What a bum! He's in chat right now. Look at this guy.
Yeah, really unfortunate. But yeah, regardless, the tier 3 player that qualified first was Kalenjak, a really promising player from the US, which I haven't heard of previously before those festival events started. He is really strong. In that Backstep Bootcamp event, he got the second highest match cost in finals. On some of the maps, he even outscored both Philoxenia and Zerilia. So yeah, he is a menace, and I wouldn't want to be his opponent if I were someone else to pick. Then we had Variel, who got the other tier 3 invitation from our Postcard from Map event, beating out such the rankers as I think the most significant of them was Satori the Pawn, which you may know him as use case, beating him on Tiebreaker. And I think Mr. Wong as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
That's it. Variel, really strong accuracy player from Indonesia. That I've heard of. They're really good. So my respect goes to them. Then the other tier 3 player is Tian Ling, which is I think, once again, as Zavi, the most often participant of our festival events. Also, same situation with Zavi, really got close to winning those events, but never managed to. So he was given the invite as well. And finally, to close it all off, well, you know him. It's Erungs. Yep. Aaron is I believe the strongest Kazakh player that Kazakhstan has. Not only he's been popping off in our festival events, but also in 6EC itself. You might not remember him because Kazakhstan itself placed really low in 6EC, but in individual stats, he always like managed to get to those like top 10 per individual performances. So yeah, finally managed to get the tier 3 invitation, and yeah, really nice for them, and looking forward to seeing their performance. With that, tier 1 and tier 3 tiers are gonna be concluded, and I believe we should jump to tier 4 players first, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm just gonna take tier 4 and our tier 2 players. We have, of course, first up, I think if you go by stats, I believe it was either Absolute Dark or Not Kaito who scored first place in the LCQ. I'm pretty sure Not Kaito, at least in the original rankings before shit exploded, GG, was the unanimous top score. I think that was absolutely no competition with Not Kaito at all across all host of maps, with the exception. I do not have it. I don't really have it on hand right now, but I'm sure I can find it. Not Kaito really did not struggle with any map, with the exception of maybe like, you know, a No Mod 6 or a No Mod 3. But other than that, they were constantly scoring top placements. And then you look at the other players as well. The players that followed, of course, being Kurtuba, Kaidori, and back then Dark Sidious. Kurtuba, Kaidori. Kurtuba has been a very experienced player in the 6-digit community. I think moving forward, I think we've seen them in quite a few tournaments. If Philoxen, correct me if I'm wrong, they were in the Polish roster for 6EC, is that right?
Yeah, they were indeed, and they were, I believe, the strongest tap-in player on the roster. So they were a really significant core player that Poland had.
Yeah. And as well as Kaidori, not to be confused with Kaldori from France. Kaidori is a very, I think they're a fairly new player, fairly new rep from Team Canada as well. And going into 6WC, definitely one of the most promising players to come out of that roster. And of course, to round it all off, it's going to be Absolute Dark. I believe they were in the final lobby for during our first pre-tourney event, being trial by fire, and they were fourth in the most difficult lobby, which was the European lobby. Absolute Dark is a very strong player in his own right. And going into the LCQ, their scores were sort of voided and dropped. And you know, when we eventually did receive their scores, they somehow shot all the way up into the rankings alongside the likes of Kaito before. And going into this LCQ, definitely Not Kaito and Absolute Dark looking to be very scary opponents for our tier 3s in this first round. But yeah, let's address the cat in the bag that is the tier 2 players. The tier 2 players are sort of our wild card pick. They were people who were privately invited by the festival staff, and they mainly include very strong experienced players, either in the community, in the overall tournament scene, or has been showing, you know, overall prominence in our festival events. One such player, of course, is Satori Depon / Yoko XD, a very capable player, first in the European lobby of Trial by Fire, and definitely one of the scariest players going to 6WC. For some reason, was not able to secure an invitation on, you know, through playing events. And so, you know, we decided to eventually pick up Satori Depon as our first option for tier 2, in the tier 2s. Been making huge leaps and bounds as a all-rounder, quite similar, I mentioned before, to the likes of 25i in 6WC 2024. So definitely looking forward to seeing how they perform. Moving forward, we also have player Szesztoka, or Philomaster22, as you might know him. Very, very well-known player in the Polish scene. Very old player, well known for being a hard rock player, hating Hidden, and not being able to play 6WC for 2 years in a row because of stupid reasons. But I digress. Definitely one of the carries from Team Poland in 6EUC, which eventually, of course, did win first place in 6EUC 2025. So, of course, a very, very strong player. Then, of course, representing the Asian scene, we have Kemo Smako, one of the few Filipinos that didn't drop their invitation to playoffs. You love to see it. A very, very strong mechanics player, very committed player, similar to Zavi, in the sense that they are a act player. They practice the pool very, very hard, and of course, that shows in their tournament results. So you sort of have the representatives from EU, and you have the representatives from Asia, and so of course, what do we pick up as our last player? We have Akayu. Initially, this invite was supposed to go to Delete, minus Delete, a very old American player, but no, this time we actually gave it to Akayu. Akayu is a sort of an enigma in the 6-digit scene per se. They're a very, very strong player, probably on par, if not like in the top 10 of 6WC 2024, and for reference, that is an incredibly high power level to be at this year. Akayu is extremely strong, probably on par with some of our tier 1s as well, and they are a very capable mechanics and hard rock player. As despite not having played any World Cup or any iteration of 6WC leading up to the Apex Theater, they definitely do not lack experience in these slightest. When I say they are a scary opponent, I fear Akayu in bracket, and definitely of the tier 2s we invited, Akayu is the player to look out for, as if the rest weren't scary players to begin with as well. But Philoxen, I mean, do you have anything to add about any of these players?
Yeah, man. Akayu definitely was a last choice decision. I didn't expect personally that they would decay back to 6-digit in time, but they managed to. Some of the old new gens might not recognize who Akayu is, but this guy has been literally terrorizing the higher ranked tournaments, not 6-digit ones, and actually constantly winning them. So this is why we decided to give him the ticket. And yeah, with that, I think I'm really happy with what players we've got, and well, let's see who will emerge victorious and claim the title of the strongest 6-digit in the world. But first of all, to start that all, we need to do our draft session.
Yeah, that's right, Philoxen. This is the moment that we've been leading up to, and with this, the Apex Theater has officially started. We'll be getting our first set of tier 3 players to come in to select from the LCQ/tier 4 pool of players. This will be, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, this will be Aaron XZ, Variel. I do not have the list on hand. GG. This will be Aaron XZ, Kalenjack, Tianling, and Variel. All of them are already waiting in the VC. And I mean, Philoxen, without further ado, I think before we begin, just to clarify, the players will be picking their opponents in the order of highest rank to lowest rank, I believe. And all of their ranks have been frozen. Yada yada yada. It is what it is. Yeah, Philoxen, if you'd be so kind, I think we can invite our first tier 3 player to select their opponents from the tier 4 LCQ pool.
That's true, and that will be Arong. So I guess we could already drag them in if they're ready. So yeah, Mirage, if you think it's possible to do without any delay, then
okay.
we would need to see this guy right here in this.
Mirage is here, by the way. Mirage is in this VC, by the way.
Hello,
That's Mirage.
Oh yeah, welcome.
Hi, Mirage.
Hello,
Everyone say hi to
everyone.
Mirage.
I'll be dragging Aaron next right now,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
if Discord wants me to. Hold on. Alright, Discord. I see what you're doing. Alright.
Ooh. Okay.
There we go.
Hey, Aaron XZ, what's good?
Hello
Yep.
everyone.
Hello, Aaron XZ. You are currently live on the Project Hexagon stream. You can hear your voice loud and clear. And let's just skip to the chase. Aaron XZ, what is going on in your mind when you're selecting these players right now? I mean, I think this is probably the first time that you're facing this kind of bracket. What is your thought process when going through, all of these players that you have in the LCQ/Tier 4 selection?
To start with, to be honest, like the players are really tough. I saw like their results on the bracket, and I researched them like really hard.
Damn.
I was checking their like ETX rankings and also SIPs, and so far as I can tell, I played with almost everyone in the like fourth tier. And let's start with Absolute Dark, who absolutely like demolished the qualifiers. We played a lot, and if you don't know, like he set 400 PP recently, which is really, it's really surprising as a
I can't.
Who are we allowing?
Yeah.
Who are we allowing?
Yeah.
Kid named D-ranker screening.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of scared to pick him. The next one who I was researching is Krituba. Krituba is a very nice player, as I can see. I don't remember if we played together. We played together on Trial by Fire, as I can remember, on the first 6WC event. And kind of unfortunately, he was not able to participate in other events because I was looking forward to play with him more. And he's kind of like, I'll say, all-rounder. He can play almost everything, as I can see. And probably, I don't know how Fieldmaster plays, but for me, Kutuba is scary for Poland team. And the next one is not Kaito. Honestly, not Kaito reminds me of myself in like half or a year ago, when I was like also had like low play count, and I was only appearing to the tournament stage. And I mean, playing with Philoxenia like till the tiebreaker, managing to almost take him is really impressive. So yeah, and the last one, Kaidori, which I was looking for. We played together on Prepare for Ascent event in semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. And it was really fun to play with him. I've seen his performance on Tiebreaker, which was really hard. He was like 500k or something. And but still, if telling who I'm going to draft on this event, honestly, I would like to play with everyone in here, but I would probably be picking. I'll be probably picking Kaidoria for this.
And this
You
is,
heard
ladies
it.
and gentlemen, the first pick.
Yeah, that's right. You heard it here, folks. Kaidori is going to be the first player that Aaron XZ is going up against. And Aaron, do you think that perhaps the fact that you haven't really interacted with Kaidori much reinforces the idea that perhaps you want to try to shoot your shot in the dark and go for this sort of matchup?
It's totally true, because I don't really know him much, because he's also like a Canadian player, as I know correctly. Please fix me if I'm not right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and mostly I was playing on the tournaments that were like CIS, like Kazakhstan, Russia, and others. So I haven't faced him, only on the 6WC event, but yeah, it would be really interesting to play with him, because probably he has like more skill in hidden than me, in other skill sets too. But we'll see on the event how it will go. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to go for it.
It is crazy hearing that you think that Kaidori has a stronger hidden than who is known for their hidden ability. So amazing sport, love the energy that you're putting out, that sort of Wallahi just ball sort of strategy going into this pick. Love the attitude that you have towards this matchup. But I mean, Aaron, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we invite our next contestant to take the stage?
I would like to add that probably 6WC is going to be probably my last tournament. Unfortunately, because I'm going to university.
No.
We'll see. But yes, I guess 6WC will be the like my last dance. And also like I would like to add for anyone who's wondering how to pronounce my nickname, you can either call me Aaron or you can call me just Aaronx. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Aaron XZZ. I'm sorry, man. I'm joking. I'm joking. Thanks,
Okay.
Aaronx. Thank you so much, Aaronx. Very wise words. I can definitely relate with 6WC being your one time to shine, and I love that message. Thank you so much, Aaronx, for being a absolute joy in all of our pre-tourney events as well, and we wish you the best of luck going into your first matchup. So yeah, thank you so much. But Philoxen, I think we have our next contestant ready to go.
The next one by rank is gonna be Tianling. So we can drag him in. Meanwhile, well, about Aaronx definitely made a lot of research about their opponents. So love to see that. We wish you all the best. And yeah, I believe with that we are gonna have to say goodbye to you and have fun scheduling the match, or just firstly waiting for defaults. But yeah.
Good luck with defaults. I'm giving you a 1 UTC default.
No, please.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, dude.
Alright, I'll be
and-
dragging in Tianling now.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Yo,
And our
Tian.
next
Hello,
guy
guys.
will be Tianling. Yeah, Tianling, as I mentioned before, Polish player, very, very skilled higher sub player. Tianling, how are you feeling today? What is your thought process going? You know, Kaidori has just been taken off the board, so, you know, you have 3 players left at your disposal. What's going through your mind when you're trying to select your opponent?
Well, hello guys, glad to hear you. So, basically, when I was looking at my possible opponents, first of all, not Kaito, very strong player, and he or she is kinda weird for me from the performance, like 200,000 rank and outperforming every other player from the 6.2 star pool. So I don't really want to pick not Kaito.
That's true,
Right.
valid.
Fair enough, man.
Then we have Kaedori. I really wanted to pick Kaedori, but Aronx did that before me. I was thinking I'm much better at Hard Rock than Kaedori, so I could abuse it. Unfortunately, Aronx still my player when I told him I want to pick him.
Okay. Yeah, love to see it.
Wait, I think I know where this is going.
Then we have Kretuva.
Oh, yo!
Potentially.
Then we have Kretuva,
Okay.
my
what about
teammate
him?
for 6WC, and of course, very consistent player. Great player overall, but I don't really want to commit friendly fire, you know? So
Oh.
I
Okay.
wanted to go for the highest average player from the 6.2 star pool, so I would like to go against Absolute Dark.
No way.
No way!
Go big or go home.
No way, dude! What the hell? Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
oh my god.
Wait, Philosopher. I'm sure both of us going into this matchup was like, he's gonna pick Katuba, right?
he's gonna
Katuba was
pick
the last
the
guy
Polish
that he
matchup,
mentioned. Like, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna kill my friend. But no,
Yeah.
nah. Absolute Dark is insane, especially given how Aaronx was just like, oh yeah, he got 400. You know, just the other day he got 400. I mean, you put it super well. Go big or go home. Are you nervous about this matchup? What kind of planning do you have going into this matchup, or do you just not fucking care? Like, do you just want to get the shit done, like make a show happen?
Well, I think I'm gonna play the pool once, as always, and then pray
Yup.
that I'm gonna do
Yeah.
well. I don't really like to practice the pool, and I'm gonna shake, of course, the classic. A lot
Yeah.
of shake, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And maybe if I'm gonna win, then I can play versus Akayu and
Ooh.
get the revenge because Akayu lost to me yesterday.
What the fuck?
Bro is just going. Bro is just going
Bro-
Kingsling. I mean,
Bro
I
wants to go
mean,
for the strongest ones.
I respect the hustle. Is all I have to say. What are your? I think. What are your thoughts going into this matchup? Do you think that, or what do you think are your odds going into this obviously very difficult matchup against Absolute Dark?
To be honest, I don't really know the skill set of Absolute Dark, but I think it's like 50-50, depending like how well he plays hard rock, speed, and tech. And yeah, if I'm not gonna shake, then I think I should win against him. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna jinx it now.
Well, that's so real. Tianling, I am so looking like you suddenly have just made your match has suddenly become my match. The commentate. So I am so excited to see how you do your thing. Honestly, average Tianling stuff. While he just ball, we love to see it. But yeah, thank you so much for your selection. And we will see how it goes. Definitely. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I think we will be moving on to our next player. Any last words, Tianling, before we move off?
I hope we're gonna see next 6WC. Same style, maybe a little bit better, but I don't think you can make it better from now. You're not
Dio
gonna
host
host?
the next 6WC.
What?
Dio
No,
host the
Alright.
next 6WC, guys.
If you win your match, yeah.
No!
Okay. If I lose my match, then you're gonna host the next 6WC.
Oh hell
No,
no!
not us, not us. No.
No, that's actually $20,000. Okay, anyways, jokes aside, thank you so much, Tianling, for your well wishes.
Thank you so much.
It means a lot. Thank you so much, dude. And I think we'll be moving on to our last player that gets to make a selection, Philoxen.
See you guys later.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you
bye
so
bye,
much,
Tianling. Peace. Okay. See ya. Yo, yeah, man, Tianling, true friend. Not picking his Polish native, going for Absolute Dark. Really respectful action. But yeah, the next one, we only have two players to pick from. And to make that decision is gonna be Cal and Jack. So I guess we can drag him in, but we got informed that his microphone is not functioning properly, so the pick is gonna be done via the match drafting channel, so in text form.
Oh yeah, unfortunately,
man.
I don't think we're gonna be able to sort of get an interview with Cal and Jack. So yeah, I think they'll just be shooting off with their pick very, very quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, what's up, Kevin? We can start the timer, I believe, if we have that. What the hell?
Oh my
Wait,
goodness,
Cal and Jack,
Cal and
is
Jack
this your pick? Is this your pick?
So
Oh, shit.
for the people
No
who
way.
can't read the chat, which is everybody in chat, so remember how Tianling was like, I'm not gonna friendly fire, so I'm gonna pick Absolute Dark. So Cal and Jack essentially did the equivalent of saying, I'm gonna friendly fire, I'm gonna pick Not Kaito. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a Not Kaito versus Cal and Jack first round. Holy
crazy.
aura! Holy aura!
Man, I never expected such matchups. Like my
Neither did
predictions
I.
were like totally different. Like
Neither
okay,
did I.
maybe like only the first pick made by Aaron was right. From that I had in mind, but all the others, hell no. That's crazy. That's a very ballsy decisions from both Cal and Jack and Tianling. Yeah,
I mean, like, you're winning the people's hearts is all I'm saying. Like, gotta put respect where it's due, you know. You love to see it. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to hear any more from Cal and Jack. Mic issues, yada yada yada. Hopefully, once you know their match ends, you'll get to hear a word from them. But I think with that, we're gonna switch very, very quickly on to our final our final player. Of course, they won't have a selection. They're just going to be playing against the last remaining LCQ player, which is Kurtuba. So
yeah.
I think we can invite our last player into the lobby.
Ooh, do we have them
No,
in VC?
I don't think they're.
Wait,
I don't
hold
think
up.
they're in the VC, so we cannot drag them in. So unfortunately,
you're
Oh,
right.
Variel is not in the VC.
as far as I can see, no.
Variel is not.
But
Oh man, that is unfortunate.
That's true, but yeah, regardless, the matchup is gonna be Variel against Kurtuba, which is actually I don't know what to expect from that match. I think all of the matchups that we have are gonna be really close, and I think that's gonna be a really crazy show on the first day of the event. All the matches of which the matchups that you just heard are gonna happen all on Saturday. Most likely between the 12 UTC and 16 UTC time frame. We will of course try our best to make the matches follow each other so that we can cover all of them in one big stream. But yeah, we'll see how it will go, and we'll try our best to, of course, make the event the most remarkable in the invitational 6-digit tournament history.
Yeah, that's right, Philoxen. With that, I said it before, but the 6-digit Apex Theater has officially begun, and I'm so excited to see the matches that we have for today. In particular, I'm looking forward to that Tianling Absolute Dark match. Hopefully Tianling practices the pool. But yeah, of course, with that, we have officially come to the end of our opening ceremony, but not to worry. We also have one final segment, I believe, going in. Yeah, we have one final segment right after this. We're going to be taking a quick break. And then that's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an interview with our third guest of honor to kickstart the Apex Theater. It's going to be the one, the only, the Osu's biggest D-ranker, Polski one. So if you are interested to see how that interview goes, do hop on by after the short intermission. And of course, we can hear some insights from the GOAT himself. One of our oldest 6-digit alumnus, and definitely our most famous and most successful 6-digit 6WC alumni. So if you're interested in seeing the man in the making, do hop on over to our next stream that we'll be hopefully hosting very, very shortly. But Philoxen, do you have any last words to say before we close off this segment of the stream?
Yeah, I believe that's it. On Friday, I think we will release the match schedules for the weekend itself, so that you can track the things, or either on Saturday morning, so you can track the things of all the matches and know when they will happen. But for now, I believe this will be it. Good luck, Gamili, with the following up interview. It's been a pleasure, of course, commentating. But yeah, we're gonna have to say goodbye to you guys because it's been tough for us as well. And yeah, for me, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining us for this opening ceremony. Here's to a bunch of successful streams that we have lined up for you. Here's to minimal amounts of scuffness, even though there definitely will be. So, I mean, if you want to see your friends play, if you yourself are playing, thank you to everybody. Thank you guys for supporting 6WC. 6WC could not have been as great as, you know, without the community that we've had on our back all this while. And of course, this is the biggest thing that we've had leading up to the main tournament, and we hope that it is satisfactory to all of you guys who are waiting at home. But I think, Philoxen, it is time to close it off. Ladies and gentlemen, huge shouts to Mirage Fire for being the streamer for today, as well as my lovely co-cast Philoxen for not just being in the commentary VC with me today, but also being such a big help in the festival, the whole festival season. It is an absolute nightmare, almost as difficult as running a whole separate tournament, and without him this wouldn't have been possible. But anyway, sappy shit aside, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Project Hexagon. My name has been Yami Criolla, and we'll see you very, very soon for our interview with Polski 1. Do stay tuned. Goodbye.
bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.